is here in Las Vegas. I'm Deborah, the Executive Director of First Choice.
And I'm Ken.
And we are Champions for Life.
And welcome, folks, to Champions for Life. I'm your host, Ken Wilson, and just so delighted to be in the studio with you today. I tell you what, we're shooting this live from KKVV Studios, KKVV, the light of Las Vegas. And I got to tell you, of course, we're doing the podcast and everything over at First Choice. But I tell you, there's just something about doing the show live right here at KKVV, inside KKVV Studios. If you're not familiar with this beautiful Christian radio station, by the way, you can take a tour of it. We're located at 3185 South Highland, Suite 13. It's a lucky 13, by the way. And you can take a tour. You can meet the general manager, Alyssa, who's just lovely. And you can meet all the beautiful staff that work here. You're going to meet some wonderful ladies that are making it happen here at KKVV. And a lot of stuff happening. We got a lot of stuff in the news. We're going to be talking with our special guest today, Manny Trujillo.
Perfect. That sounded great.
That sounded pretty good. I gave it as much of my Spanish. I am Spanish, by the way, so there should be something.
Right on.
And we're going to be talking about Manny and what he's doing for Nevada Right to Life, signing a new petition, right, to keep men out of women's sports.
Correct.
And so we're going to be talking about that because what do we got to do? We got to amend the Constitution to be able to do that. And it's a long process, need a lot of signatures, and we're going to talk about how you, the listener, can help make this difference. Maybe you can get some signatures either from your church or whatever it is. You got to need a little bit of training, I bet, but we'll talk about that. And we can make it happen. So for everybody on Facebook, we're shooting Facebook Live, everybody out there in internet land. And if you're watching via YouTube, well, you're seeing kind of a rebroadcast, but you know what? This is pertinent because this is Nevada, and this stuff is going to be happening in our future. And, of course, KKVV.com. You can see all of your programs that you listen to here on this fantastic station that are shot live. You can view them via KKVV.com. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Well, now you know.
Nice.
And plus, we got events. We have events here, and we're try not to make too much noise, man, when you're doing this. But this wakes people up. There's an event that's coming up. It's the Love Thy Neighbor Festival. This is KKVV. They're presenting the 4th annual Love Thy Neighbor Festival, and it's going to be May 30th at Mulaski Park. It's on the west side of town from 10 a.m. in the morning till 4 p.m. in the afternoon. There's going to be free food. Free love for people that are just going to love you in the name of Jesus. They're going to have gifts and games and just all kinds of stuff. It's going to be food. And if you're in the park, you're going to be blessed. And you know how else you're going to be blessed? Not only are you going to be able to meet the general manager and the staff that make it here at KKVV, you're also going to meet some of the program hosts that are going to be there. Plus, a lot of these programmers that you hear here have prepared baskets for you, giveaways, gifts from their respective broadcast that they're just going to give to you. It's going to be kind of like a raffle. Is that how it's going to? She's the general manager who's producing the show today is giving me the nod. Nice. She's saying, yes, this is how it's going to happen. There's going to be what's happening is we got maybe say there's 20 giveaways. Well, then, you got 500 people. You got to kind of raffle them off to make sure you get what you want. But all kinds of wonderful things from all the different shows here on KKVV. It's going to be a blast. The host of your show is going to be there.
Nice.
I'm going to be there. I'll be there earlier in the day, so you'll get to meet me. And, of course, I'm Ken Wilson, if you haven't missed it on the promo. And First Choice Pregnancy Services is going to have their own basket as well, just full of goodies. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Again, that's going to be on May 30th at Mulaski Park. And you say, Kenny, where is Mulaski Park?
I have no clue.
Nobody knows. It's 1065 East Twain Avenue. 1065 East Twain Avenue. And again, it's going to be May 30th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a Saturday, folks. So just come out and bring the kids. Come hungry. It's going to be just all kinds of, and just going to get all kinds of stuff you're going to get for free. And maybe Manny will be there. Maybe he'll give you some stuff.
Right?
You never know.
Is there some speakers that are going to be there?
I don't know. Is there speakers? The general manager who's sitting behind the window making this happen, she's saying yes.
Nice.
There's going to be some wonderful speakers. And now we're going to hear from the general manager herself. And she is going to say, That.
So there's going to be all kinds of love for everybody that comes. There's going to definitely be speakers. We're going to have testimony from all the people that work here and different pastors. And we are actually doing something way different. And what that is this park is usually called the homeless park.
Yeah.
And we're inviting all of the community, but we're also going to invite these homeless people that are there. We're going to feed them. We're going to give them testimony of how the Lord has brought us out of hell and delivered us from addictions, and even some of us have been in the streets before,
right,
and how God has brought us out of that. And we don't want to just rub their belly and feed them and give them testimony. We want to actually help them. And so what we're doing is I've set up several Christian homes that are going to be willing to do intake and take them off the streets right then and there. And
That's
help
important.
them, actually help them.
Wow.
And you can be a part of that. You can come and you can pray. You can eat with us. We are going to fellowship together. And it's going to be something completely different than we've ever done before, but it's definitely going to be Holy Spirit led. So.
Oh, man, it's going to be a blast.
Yes.
It's going to be a blast. Again, it's going to be May 30th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So just get there early. And it's going to be at Molaski Park. That's Molasky, Molaski Park. That's 1065 East Twain. It's going to be a Saturday. So bring the kids. Yes, there may be a homeless here or there, but for the most part, it's going to be people that listen to this station, enjoy what they hear over KKVV, and it's going to be a blast. I mean, it's just going to be an absolute blast, and you want to come, and you're just going to be blessed.
Yes.
It's okay to have a Christian event where the Lord is just you're loving the Lord and loving thy neighbor in the park in public.
Yeah.
Yes.
I could tell you from experience when I've done something similar to this is where the blessings that you get from meeting these people who are on the streets and are struggling with addictions and things like that, and how they want to just reconnect with someone that actually cares about their situation,
Yes.
actually help them out of that situation.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just, giving them a meal and moving on, we actually want to just try to get them back on their feet, to give them something to fall on and
Yes.
know that the Lord is seeking their heart.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
There is going to be a lot of stuff for kids too. So this is for everybody. We're going to have areas for kids to have to do games. We actually have kids that are going to come up and give testimony as well. We have a group called Hearts for Kids that are going to come up and do singing and dancing. And there's also going to be a table just for the kids that have where they can come and they can actually get a raffle ticket and they can choose a gift basket. We have 6 of them right now, and I believe we're going to have several more. And they can choose a gift basket and put their little raffle in there, and only kids are allowed to come up and claim the gift basket. So we are making it so that they are going to be able to have fun too. So please bring your friends, bring your family. We also have a group there that's called In Jesus' Name Medical Ministry. These are a group of evangelical doctors that are going to come, and they're going to give out free medical. So if you know anybody that doesn't have insurance, let them know. Bring them to this park. So we have so many different things that are happening. This is a huge event. It's not something small. And like I said, we want to give back to the community, and that does include our fellow brothers and sisters in Christ that, or even atheists, that don't know the Lord,
Sure.
that we can have a chance to bring them to know who God is.
Yeah.
And you can be a part of that. So,
Absolutely. And if you need more information, you can give KKVV a call.
yes.
And their number is 702-731-KKVV. 731-5588. And say, hey, listen, I need more information about this Love Thy Neighbor Park. Because we need to love thy neighbor
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
And so you can be a part of that. Bring your kids. Come hungry.
Yes. And also, if your church wants to get involved and they want to set up a table there and give out hygiene or even just give out Bibles or just come and represent, you can just come and be a part of it or set up a table. Give me a call. We are more than happy to have you guys come up beside us. So again, that number is 702-731-5588. Ask for me. I'm Alyssa. And let's just do something wonderful for our community together.
Oh, man, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I got to tell my pastor about this.
And now the host of your show is going to be, I'm going to make it. But, I'm going to be flying in from Atlanta like the day before. But I'm going to make it. We're going to be there in the morning and then can't stay long. But it's going to be fun. I wish I could stay the whole day. But it's going to be a blast. And the Love Thy Neighbor Festival, presented by KKVV, the 4th annual Love Thy Neighbor Festival, May 30th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Mulaski Park, which is going to be great. All right, well, Manny, listen, you, sir, are a busy guy.
Yes.
You are a busy guy. You want to change the Nevada Constitution. What gives you the right to come in here and try and change my Constitution?
No, well, so I'm not trying to change. I'm just trying to make sure that the wording is we use it correctly. So the Equality Act was passed a few years ago, and because of that, they've allowed the door to be open to something that we didn't see in the future. And so what we're trying to do is just trying to put a little note in there to make sure that if you're in a sport, whether for women or men, that you stay in that lane, that you don't get out of that lane, that you stay. If you're a biological man or boy, you participate in only boy or men's sports. Same with the women. The women participate only in women's sports or girls' sports. That way there's no confusion or there's no person actually, because to me it's, I kind of want to use the term of domestic violence. Do I want to support domestic violence against women where a man is physically hurting a woman, right? Even though he's not going over and punching her in the face, he can use a volleyball and spike it so hard that it hurts her physically.
That actually happened, by the way.
It did happen, and we can use those examples. This is why we need to keep men into men's sports. If you're going to be a man, compete in men's sports. Don't try to take something away that this woman has been fighting for her every day of her life to try to get to a scholarship, to see a future for herself. And for a gentleman to say, you know what, I can't compete against my other male combatants, let me join the women's just because I can put on a wig and wear a dress now, and I can just compete and take advantage of her and take her position away. Imagine the heartache that family's got to go through to see that they've done so much for their daughter, to go through all the coaching that they paid for, all the traveling that they did, all the research they did, and all the hours that they put into there. When my son was going through football, it was like twice a week I went to his practices, and then I went to the game on Saturday. So it was like time after time after time. I've taken time away from me and my personal stuff that I would like to do and poured it onto my child, which I love. I love. I would never take back any of that. But to see him to try to take that and then use that against a woman, I was like, whoa, no. You never wanted to take advantage of a woman in that situation. You want to uplift them. You want to support them, and you'd always want to encourage them to do the fight that you did, but in the framework of the women's sports, whether it be volleyball, softball. My cousin herself, she got a partial ride to UNLV because of her skills. Right. She was a pitcher for a softball team. She did get a full ride to the Utah, but when she wanted to move her scholarship to UNLV, they only gave her a partial. Now, let's say a man was to come in and move himself into that position. They would have bumped her because obviously he's stronger and faster. His lungs, his energy, everything can outdo a woman in so many other sports. So we're just trying to make it legislations to where no boy can compete in a woman's sport.
Yeah, it used to be called equality. That's what it used to be called. It's I hate to say this, because we don't want to get all political. This is a Christian radio station. Right. But, the feminists have fought so many years for equality, whether you agree with it or not, or maybe parts of it or whatever it is, that's fine. But now that we see biological males now competing in women's sports, and especially in schools where scholarships are up for grabs, and for example, girls, I had multiple cases where young ladies have run track were stars, but they were bumped from the podium because they were replaced by men who were competing as female, and they lost their scholarship, right? Because now they're not on the podium anymore. Now they're in 4th or 5th place. They're bumped. Yeah. And so where is for our ladies out there who are feminists? I mean, where is the protection for these ladies? Right? And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to amend the Nevada Constitution to reflect this idea of boundaries between women's sports and men's sports. And if you're a biological male, you will be playing in biologically men's sports. Females, you will be playing biological female, you will be playing in female sports. And we're going to keep it that way for safety.
Right.
And for equity.
Right.
And so there's a lot of work that has to be done. First of all, if you're going to change the Nevada Constitution, what have you got to do? You got to do a lot.
Yeah. So what we're doing so far is we've been going out to events and trying to get people to sign a petition. First, you have to be a registered voter. You just can't just be anybody. You can't just be, supporting this cause, and God bless you if you do, but you actually have to be a registered voter. So first you have to be a registered voter. Once we establish that you are, then we have to get you up to the district that you're aligned to. And there's three of them in Nevada and Las Vegas right now. So we have North Las Vegas, East, and West. And so once we determine where you live is where you're going to be signing the petition, because you can sign the wrong petition and your name won't even count. So
I did that. I did that. I just saw the petition just laying there, and I just signed it. And then I said, well, wait a minute, that's not my district. Then I had to go back and I crossed through it and I signed the right one. And then I went back and said, listen, did I just invalidate all these signatures by signing it in the wrong place? She goes, no, I don't think so. Now, if you crossed it out, it should be okay. But the bottom line is you need to make sure.
Yeah.
Don't do like the host of your show did and just sign anything.
Right.
You need to know what.
It's important for me that's asking you to sign a petition to give you as much data as I have that I can give to you to make sure that you're signing and what you're signing, because I've had people come up and just say, hey, I got a petition. Oh, I'll sign it. And then once I tell them that, like, no, I'm not going to sign it. Well, okay, that was your choice.
Right.
But I want to make sure you're informed. I just don't want you to sign this just because you think it's the right cause, because you might be signing the cause that you're not even agreeing with. So I'd rather you be on the right side of this situation.
You're talking about equity. Let me tell you something. We got question 6 that's we're also facing, right?
Yes.
Which is unrestricted abortion on demand, that Nevada's going to be facing again in November. And if it passes this time, you'll have abortion through 9 months. You'll have no parental notification if your minor daughter wants to get an abortion. The requirement for an actual doctor to perform the abortion, that's going to be gone. All you need to be now is a occupational therapist or some kind of thing, and to perform an abortion, which is crazy. And all the governmental oversight for abortion clinics, well, that'll be wiped away. And so it's tragic. But you know what happens when these petitioners go out and are attempting to collect signatures in order to get this on the ballot for people to vote, for Nevada's to vote on? They don't have, Manny, your level of integrity when trying to, discern, is this something you would like to sign and see on the ballot? They're saying, hey, listen, are you for women's rights? Well, sure, I'm for women's rights. What person is not for women's rights?
Right.
Here, well, then sign this.
Right. But
little do they know that they've just signed something that's going to allow abortion through all 9 months.
Correct.
That will turn Nevada and Las Vegas specifically into the abortion capital of the United States.
Yeah.
Little do they know.
Well, I've heard multiple stories when people actually confronted the people who were handing out the petitions. Last time, a lot of the people didn't even know what they wwere promoting, what they were standing behind, and so some of them actually walked off the job, which is a blessing. But even the people that are out there getting people's signatures, they're getting paid somehow, and they think
and they don't care. All they worry about is signatures. All I want, because I get paid by the signature.
Yeah.
You know how many sheets I've got filled out, and they don't care. They just want your name on the sheet.
Yeah.
And if they gotta give you half lies or half truths to get you to sign, they don't care.
No.
They don't care. They're not like you, Manny.
No.
They're not like you at all.
No, but I always wanted to do it with a smile. I always wanted to do it with compassion. I've been confronted with aggressive people, and that's going to happen no matter what, because there's an attack, obviously, and people feel like their feelings are getting involved. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to let you understand the facts of this matter. I understand that there's feelings behind it because, as a young adult going through the time that they're going through, like my daughter or my son or whoever's going on through the situation, they can be confused because right now there's a lot of confusion going on, and there's a lot of things that people will say just to turn you into a different direction. But when I present the truth and I let them know, it's like, look, even though you're signing this petition, it's not going to happen tomorrow, and it's not going to happen in 3 years. It's probably going to more happen in 6 years. Mm-hmm. But luckily, we're not the only people that are trying to get this going. I also heard that the politicians are trying to talk about this more, to where They don't want to see men and women's sports just because it's what happens if they're getting to like wrestling, a guy wrestling with another woman,
right?
Things happen. There was an instance where she felt so violated because she was wrestling with a man, and he was putting his hands in her parts, and now it's become something disgusting.
It's inadvertent.
No longer a sport.
It should not even be. I've heard something sadly even more tragic, as bad as that is. But I remember I was talking with Alyssa here earlier. There was a case, I don't know, maybe roughly 5 years ago, where they decided, let's go ahead and have a biological man who believes he's now a woman,
right?
Who is a mixed martial arts fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Because he feels he's a woman, let's go ahead and let him compete in the women's mixed martial arts.
Yes.
And what happened, now you could figure out what would happen when you're allowing a male to literally, because listen, mixed martial arts is no nonsense. I mean, they go in there and beat the daylights out of each other. I mean, it's brutal. And it's tough to watch. But how much, in this case, where there was a young lady I don't have the name in front of me, but she was a mixed martial arts. She was a star rising in the arts. And she came up against this guy who said he was now a girl. And before the fight was over, she had a cranial fracture. I don't know if she ended up in a coma. I think she did. She almost lost her life. Right? And this, I mean, how crazy does our society need to be to allow this?
Yeah.
So now now we're dealing with adults, right?
Yeah.
So there needs to be some sanity in, the organizers and the regulations and stuff. But when you're dealing with children in your public school system, right? And these kids are giving their all, and they're trying to compete, and they're fighting for scholarships.
Right.
And you're going to allow Johnny, who feels he's Susie, to come in and compete against, and say in racing or whatever it is, in track, then don't be surprised. We need this.
Yeah,
Manny, we need it.
It's like, not only did you steal her scholarship, but you stole her future. She could have taken that scholarship and used it to benefit her future, to be whatever she could have been. But now this gentleman came in and just took it away from her because he decided he's a woman now, and he says he's a woman. Now that blows my mind, to just the fact that you could just say that and all of a sudden be championed as one. I just don't. There is that issue. We could talk about some judges who were putting convicted men who now felt that they were women in women's prisons, and now they were surprised when the pregnancy rates inside of the women's prisons started to skyrocket in California. You're running into all these unintended consequences when you start doing some strange things like this. And it's gonna, not only does it happen in that aspect, but then they're also in your locker room. Do you really want your daughter to be in a locker room with another man undressing?
Listen, I've got 3 daughters. This was the first year, we're talking about middle school, high school, that 2 of my children were in public school. And that when I went in there, I said, now listen, first of all, I told my daughter, I said, listen, Adele, if you want to run track, great, I'm for you. You want to play sports, baseball, softball, I don't care, do it if you want to do it. But I said, the moment, now you can call me backwards, but the moment you see in your locker room a man undressing, changing, or showering, I said, you're done. She goes, and you know what she said? She said, Dad, you don't have to wait to tell me. I'm already out of there.
Nice.
But I mean, that's why should parents have to be facing this problem?
Yeah.
A lot of parents don't even realize that this is going to be a problem or already is a problem. Listen, in our public school system today, it is legal for this to occur.
Yeah.
So mom and dad, if you are not on top of this, you need to know what is your specific school guidelines for transgender folks in your daughter's sports, and find out, listen, is there going to be a transgender guy in the locker room? And I asked that. Before I enrolled, I asked the school staff, I said, listen, I want to know right off and there were other parents in the room too, registering their kids for I said, listen, I want to know. I said, I want to know, is there a possibility that a a boy, a biological male, is going to be in the locker room with my 13-year-old daughter. I want to know. Right? And she said, no, what we've done is we have a separate bathroom. We have a separate bathroom. It's not going to be in the parlor. She said it like she was serious. But how many schools are going that extra step? Right. And, not that you should even have that scenario.
So as many times as we have these safeguards and these guardrails for this and this and that, there's always that one person that goes, well, I don't want to be separated. I'm a woman, and you can't tell me different.
Oh.
So I'm just going to go into the women's restroom or the women's locker room, and I'm going to change because I'm a woman. And it's like, well... Okay.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
There's going to be that one. We all know that's going to happen.
We're in the last days. We were very confused, Lord. That's just where we're at. Listen, can we open up telephone lines? Yes, we can. The telephone lines are open. By the way, if you'd like to call and chime in on this, or maybe you would like to be a petitioner, maybe you'd like to help Manny collect signatures so we can get this on the ballot to vote on. This November, we can vote the first time if we get enough, or we have to wait?
The question 6 is going to be November.
Right.
The one that I'm actively doing right now, I'm actually doing both of them, but the one I'm pushing for before the end, because we're going to, at June 1st is when... we had to turn in all petitions.
Okay.
But I'm willing to drive to whatever church you want to. I don't care how far it is.
Will we have enough by June 1st? I know you need what? You're looking for 200,000. The mandatory amount is 150,000 signatures?
Yeah, so I don't know the number, and I'm glad I don't because I don't want to stop. I just want as many as I can.
Well, you're running out of time. June 1st is right around the corner.
It's right around the corner, but I am willing. Me personally, I will drive to wherever I need to
collect all the signatures.
To get all the signatures. Doesn't matter what church, where you're at.
All right, here you go.
What house. I will go and walk you through the process.
Listen.
I'll give you everything you need to get these signatures and to give you educated to where you can delegate and find out where you live, to sign the right petition, and to do it correctly so that your signature matters.
Yeah, and it's not going to take hard to help. I mean, there's a little bit of training, but you can do it.
Yeah.
You can just sit down and say, listen, you got to do this.
Yes.
Listen, if you'd like to help or you'd like to chime in, our telephone lines are open, 650-5588, 650-KKVV. And you can talk to Manny, talk to me, and hopefully... Listen, if you've had a scenario where you've had to deal with this in the public school, we'd like to hear from you. Hopefully you haven't. Well, in that respect, I hope the telephone, nobody got, because it's heartbreaking.
It is.
It's heartbreaking to see these young women have to face, I mean, your 12, 13-year-old girl, she's going into 9th grade, right?
Right.
The last thing she would expect to see is a man, a senior, perhaps, man undressing in her life, taking a shower.
Yeah.
I mean, how?
My son, he played varsity, so I mean he was a fit man. He played varsity, was it baseball and football? I can't imagine him going into the women's sports and just dominating.
That's right. Can you imagine the reverse?
Yeah, he would dominate in everything. He would get all the scholarships. He would get all the praise from the other people, and then he would go and take all those girls' futures away from him.
Yeah, and we certainly don't want that. We don't want that to happen. And so anyway, our telephone lines are open, 650-5588, 650-KKVV. And if you would like to actually help Manny in gathering these signatures, maybe you'd like to do it in your church if your pastor's willing. And this is an amendment, folks. So there's no way, some pastors are fearful that they would taint their 501c3 status by having any kind of political anything. Let me rest assured, because this is an amendment to our Constitution and not an endorsement of a candidate, your church is perfectly safe and legal to gather signatures to change our Constitution, or to get signatures and to help one way or the other, even advocate for or against these amendments, like Question 6, and this amendment keeping biological males out of women's sports.
Correct.
And so there's no fear. So if you'd like more information about this, you can give. Is there a website or any way that they can contact you directly?
So yeah, there is a website. I don't know it verbatim, but I'm sure if you just type in Nevada Right for Life, something will pop up into the matter of fact to where you can actually click on it and you'll see where we're at. I'm sure it's like a .gov or .org. I'm sure it's not .com. I'm sure it's a .gov or .org.
.org, yeah.
Yeah. So just type in Nevada Right for Life. It will pop up. You should be able to see what's going on. what we stand for and what are the petitions, and hopefully get more information about the question 6 and trying to keep boys out of girls sports.
Amen. And I'm speaking with Manny Trujillo, who is the Nevada Right to Life spokesperson for not only this amendment of keeping biological males out of women's sports, but also for question 6, which we're going to talk about in a second. But Manny, you've been doing this now. How long have you been?
So I've been active with them for about the past few months, but I've been in the fight been a pro-life advocate for a very long time. I worked for a pregnancy center that was helping women to get a helping hand in the situations that they were in, and I worked there for a number of years, and it was such a blessing.
You're talking about All Life.
Yeah, I worked for All Life for a few years, and just to see how that organization runs, it's such a beautiful organization where they help women in a time of need and just give them so much love and resources.
Absolutely.
And the gospel, which is important. But, the main focus is trying to make sure that they choose life for that child.
Yeah.
In that circumstance.
And speaking of which, that's why First Choice Pregnancy Services, the other
Yes.
pregnancy help center here in our valley, has sponsored this radio broadcast and our podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
We are very thankful for this because it is a great opportunity to allow the city of Las Vegas and Clark County and all of Nevada and now the entire United States to know about our Pregnancy Help Center.
Right.
And, I've known the All Life folks used to be Southern Nevada. No, it was Women's Resource Medical Center, right?
Yes.
And they are certainly the oldest pregnancy help center here in Las Vegas. I think they've been here since the 80s.
It's 30 years.
And so we love those folks down there, and we love everything that they're doing. First Choice Pregnancy Services, we've been here 20 years.
Okay.
And we've been working hard. In fact, for the longest period of time, we were located right just yards away from the busiest abortion facility in the state of Nevada.
Yeah, I was there. I actually did I went there a couple times and to support that because to see the actual place, to witness the people that go in and to pray for them and not be a hindrance. We're just there to give them love and support.
Absolutely.
And the fact that First Choice is right in the area just shows the love that they have for that the love they have for the women going in there or the men that are going in there. They want to just give another option. And the one thing that I loved about when we were at the event today with First Choice is one thing that she said was, if your church wants to get involved and just volunteer, that is such a blessing. I've seen so many churches come to All Life and pour out their blessings, whether it be doing this kind of work or doing that kind of work, or even getting a basket together, just to see the outpouring of blessings that you can do to help these organizations by just volunteering either your time or your money. But if you do your time, you will actually get to see it in person, and that will really make a difference in your life as well.
Absolutely. Both All Life and First Choice been serving the Las Vegas Valley and Clark County for decades and making a difference. I don't know what the numbers are. I think All Life, simply because they've been in existence 10 years longer than First Choice has, I think they're well over 100,000 children that have been saved through their ministry. First Choice, we are creeping up on 49,000 children that have been saved since we opened.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check the All Life numbers. But the amazing thing is that you have tens of thousands of young children, now many of them adults, who are alive today.
Yes.
Because these ministries exist.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And like you're saying, we want to try to get this not to be the secret of Las Vegas.
No, of course not. The best kept secret in Vegas cannot be the pregnancy help centers that we're trying to advocate, which is why we have this show.
Right.
And if you'd like more information about how you can be a volunteer, now this broadcast actually is an outreach ministry of First Choice Pregnancy Services. We have the distinction and honor of being awarded by Focus on the Family as the model crisis pregnancy center in the nation. That is a great honor. Thank you, Focus on the Family. The beautiful staff that work there, and of course the awesome volunteers.
Right.
I was pointing at for those of you in radio land, I was pointing at myself.
Right.
The staff there are just absolutely wonderful. I mean,
yeah.
you know the beautiful thing about walking into First Choice and All Life too, because I know the ladies that work over there. When you walk into these places,
There's
and
no
you
judgment.
well, there's not only judgment, but it's like the atmosphere instantly changes. It's like, it's almost, you know what it is? It's like walking into church. Do you know how everything changes? Like when you get to church on Sundays, and it's like you're sliding into home plate. It's like safe. That's exactly what it's like when you walk into All Life and you walk into First Choice Pregnancy Services. It's like a sanctuary. It literally is a sanctuary for mothers who are in a crisis pregnancy situation that need assistance. And a lot of times, young ladies, they go into, First Choice, even All Life, and they think that this is the abortion facility.
Right.
And it's not. But you know what? The Lord very often has led those young ladies through those doors.
Yes.
Right? And so many times, thanks to the loving staff and the medical professionals that are there, the nurses and the doctors that are there, through the ultrasounds and that are given free, the pregnancy test, the counseling that's given free, a lot of these young ladies, and I mean very, very many, change their minds, their hearts, and their attitudes towards the child that's just thriving in their womb.
Yeah.
And it's amazing the miracles that God has done. And you know what else? A lot of these young ladies are coming from out of state. Now, I'm going to tell you what's happening. The other side, they like to call themselves pro-choice, really pro-abortion.
Pro-death.
That's right. What they're doing is they're making Las Vegas already an abortion vacation destination. This is already happening. And you say, Kenny, you don't know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about and how they're doing it. There are NGOs that are already set up that will pay not only for the lady's plane ticket, they will pay for her hotel, they will pay for her food, and they will pay for the abortion clinic and pay for the transportation with the Uber to get them to and from the abortion clinic and their hotel room. They will pay for everything if they're coming from out of state. Everything. So what's happening? These young ladies are coming in and say, well, you know what? I'm going to go to Las Vegas for a vacation, and I'm going to take care of this little problem. And this is already happening. So what's happening at our local pregnancy help centers is that they're seeing an influx of women from out of state.
Yes.
That are coming into our states. They're seeking abortions.
Yes.
They're walking through our doors thinking it's the abortion clinic.
Correct.
And now we're having to minister to them. And this is what's happening. Now, if question 6 passes, you are going to see this problem skyrocket.
Oh, yeah.
Skyrocket, because all the restraints for abortion will be off.
Yep.
There'll be abortion through all 9 months.
Yep.
There will be no parental notification if a 13, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old dog comes through those doors for the abortion. No parent will ever have to know.
No.
That's a trafficker. That's a human trafficker's dream.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's paint the scenario quick. Let's say that your daughter's in school, she's 14 years young, and her teacher, the groomer, decides to engage with her, and now he's done things with her, and now he's got her pregnant, and the way he wants to hide his little crime, he just goes and get the abortion and says, hey, go to the school nurse. She'll get you the abortion pill. Your parents won't even have to know about it. It'll all be just our little secret.
Yeah.
Imagine your daughter going through that without your knowledge.
Without even knowing about it. And I'm telling you, this is such a reality. I mean, even from my daughters who are young, all of them are young. I think my oldest daughter's 20. And then I've got a 14-year-old, actually. And already we've heard of cases where friends have bottles of these abortion drugs.
Yes.
And what's happening is because the drug is a two-part, there's 2 separate drugs in the abortion pill regimen. It's really poison.
Right.
But the first portion of the drug, mifepristone, actually blocks nutrients and oxygen to the growing child. So the baby dies. Then the second part of this drug, which is really Cytotec, this causes contractions and expels the dead child. Well, what's happening is because these drugs are flooding the United States without any oversight, without any doctor's prescription, what's happening is these young ladies are taking these drugs out of order. And what's happening is, for example, they'll take the Cytotec, the second part, and now they're delivering a baby that's still alive but dying and needs immediate medical care. It's a frightening scenario, and all of this is happening inside the home, in the so-called privacy of a person's home, the sanctuary of their own home.
Right.
And it's a frightening scenario. In fact, I got a story here today. We're trying to get the Food and Drug Administration to wake up and say, hey, listen, not only are you violating the Comstock Act, which is a federal law which states you cannot mail drugs through the post office without doctor to patient. In other words, if drugs come, they got to go to the doctor.
Correct.
Then the doctor has to give them to them. What's happening now is this drug is now being ordered by Planned Parenthood and just sent direct to everybody. Just sent, if you order it, boom, it comes right to your door. Right? This is a violation of a federal law. But the administration says we don't care.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the Food and Drug Administration to say, hey, listen, you're in violation of the Comstock Act. Furthermore, over 50% of the states have laws on their books currently that forbids medication, including the abortion drug, to be mailed through the post office into their states. And many of those are pro-life states. For example, Louisiana, Texas, and so forth. They're having this problem. Their pro-life laws, because they're pro-life states, are being violated because these drugs are coming across their borders, and they can't do anything about it.
They can't do anything about it.
You know, listen, I'm from Louisiana, right? And pro-life state. I got to meet the governor, wonderful guy. And guess what? I thanked him. I said, listen, you know what, Governor? Thank you for your pro-life laws. But they're irrelevant now, because Planned Parenthood can just ship this drug right across state lines. And so the state of Louisiana was the first one to sue. It has gone, I think that it's pending before the Supreme Court right now.
Nice.
And so, but that's only Louisiana. We need federal oversight of this poison that is now pouring into all 50 states. And, Lord willing, it's going to happen. You can send a message to the Food and Drug Administration, and just look it up on the web. I thought I had it here. There's another separate problem with the EPA. I have another story here where it talks about how, unfortunately, the abortion pills are tainting our water supplies.
Yeah.
And what's happening is, because the abortions are taking place at home, right? Mifepristone, which really is a poison, is now being flushed through the toilet along with the dead child into our water system, which is now, normally some of our water gets reclaimed, especially here in the United States. It gets cleansed through our purification system and dumped back into Lake Mead. Well, guess what? That's where some of our drinking water comes from.
Yes.
And what's happening is there have been organizations, I don't know if it's Students for Life, I can't remember which, but they've already started doing testing for mifepristone in municipal water supplies, and they're finding traces of it. They're finding trace elements of mifepristone in our drinking water. Now, hold on a second. Mifepristone, now everybody's drinking this. What if you're pregnant? What if you're pregnant and your water supply has been tainted so drastically from this mifepristone, now it's causing you problems?
Yeah. Not only are you drinking, but you're bathing in it when you're taking a shower. It's just pouring all over you. So
we're trying to get the Environmental Protection Agency to wake up. Yeah. And say, hey, listen, we weren't able to do that, but the EPA administrator is Lee Zeldin, and right now he's ignoring the problem. And so we need to put a little pressure on him and say, hey, listen, this is a real issue. Oh, no. You can already find trace elements of mifepristone in municipal water supplies across the country. And how further of a problem this is going to become if you do nothing. Yeah, you're using it to cook food with, you're drinking it, you're bathing in it. And it's furthermore, it goes beyond that. These municipal water, they also are cattle. For example, all of our beef, all of our everything, you could potentially start inhibiting the reproduction rates of our cattle. So this could affect food supplies. Well, I mean, it's a domino effect. So listen, the fight, folks. If you're not engaged in the battle, you need to become more aware. I mean, it's just that simple. Yes. And if you'd like more information about any of this, you can give us a call at First Choice, and they'll patch you through. Our number at First Choice Pregnancy Services is 702-294-CARE. That's 294-2273. And if you're a young lady who needs assistance during a pregnancy, and it doesn't matter what your needs are. Or age. or age. And it doesn't matter if you just want someone to talk to and find out what you're at. Maybe you're considering an abortion. Maybe you're thinking about taking the abortion drug, but you'd like to talk to someone who's been there and gone through that. Give First Choice a call and say, listen, we're not going to charge you anything. We never charge our clients not even a dime. All Life doesn't charge anybody anything either. But give First Choice a call. Our number is 702-294-CARE, 294-2273. And say, listen, I think I need to make an appointment. Yeah. Maybe you're a teenager, find out that they're pregnant, and mom and dad don't even want you living in their house anymore unless you get an abortion. Maybe you have a housing problem. Listen, every single issue that you think you have no idea how to help, there's resources available for you. Yeah. You would be amazed. Yeah. So give us a call. Find out how we can help you. Yeah.
And you can also go there to get a free pregnancy test, and they use the same pregnancy test that they use in the hospitals. Yeah. So if you just want to make sure to know if you're pregnant or not, go there and do that, fill out the form.
Yeah, and get more information.
Get more information. Take the test just to see where you're at and go from there.
And I also want to mention to you, though, we also have at First Choice, and All Life has this as well, we have the abortion pill reversal protocol. So for you young ladies who have taken the abortion drug, or maybe you have a best friend who's taken the abortion pill and now regrets it, or maybe they've been given it surreptitiously thinking, well, it's only a birth control, but it's not, it's something else. Maybe they didn't know what they were taking and maybe they were tricked. We've heard so many stories, I can't even tell you, of young ladies who've been poisoned by this. They wanted their baby and then were given this drug. Listen, we can help you, but you must call quickly because the child's life is in danger. And we have a hotline ready for you. Doesn't matter when you call. This is a 24/7 number. You call us, we get you to a doctor. And that number is 877-558 0333. I'll give it to you again. It's the abortion pill reversal protocol. The number 877-558 0333. And this number could save your life. On your baby's life as well. At First Choice, we now have, I think we have a couple of dozen at least babies that are alive today from this abortion reversal pill protocol. Isn't that amazing?
That is so beautiful.
Isn't that absolutely amazing?
What a blessing.
We had a young lady named Jessica. She was a trauma nurse at UMC. Okay. And she came in and she had taken, she was in it, her and her husband wasn't getting along, and the husband wanted her to take the abortion pill because he didn't want the child. And so she just did what, just to stop the fighting, took the pill. Well, she's a nurse. Yeah. She said, well, hold on a second. What have I done? What have I done? Right. I'm a nurse. Immediately called First Choice. Immediately called. We got her under the abortion pill reversal protocol. Saved her baby's life. That little bit, she's now, the little girl's 2 years old, probably going on 3 now. A little bouncing, beautiful baby girl. Just beautiful. And you know what else Jessica has done? Because she recognized the problem of the abortion pill, she's now testified before Congress in Washington, D.C., and they've got to listen to her. Yeah. She's a trauma nurse. Right. Right? They have to listen to her, and she's claim and say, listen, you've got to do something. This is a drug this poison is being shipped out to everywhere. It's unsupervised and people can take it at home and there's complications. The sad reality is 11% of all women who take this abortion pill end up in the emergency room.
No doubt. Yeah, and let's say question 6 passes and now your your dentist or your chiropractic or all these anybody who has a title can give it to you. Yep. And they don't know the protocol and they're not going to walk you through the process. Right. They're just going to give it the pill and say, take this and wish you the best.
Wish you the best of luck. And the problem is, what else? Not all pregnancies are the same. For those of you who are even considering the abortion pill, I want you to listen very closely. Sometimes there are complications in your pregnancy that you're not even aware about because you have not taken a sonogram. All you've taken is a pregnancy test. You found out that you're pregnant. But guess what? If you have an ectopic pregnancy, this is where the child is developing in your fallopian tubes, and you take the abortion drug, you're risking your life. Yep. I urge you, if you are considering taking this abortion drug and you have not had an ultrasound, I'm urging you, contact First Choice Pregnancy Services. Give them a call. At least let us give you a free ultrasound. We're not going to listen. We can't stop you from taking the abortion drug. Can't stop you from getting an abortion. But at least we can find out, first of all, that you're pregnant for sure, and we can see where the child is developing. And if the child is developing in a fallopian tube, then that's a separate thing that has to be addressed. But don't risk your life. And I mean,
there's so many cases.
And there's so many
cases,
and it's just dangerous. Sometimes the baby is too far along for this drug, and you're taking these drugs, and sometimes you end up with a live birth.
Yeah,
there are many live births from young ladies who have taken this drug, and the baby's far too developed. Now, what do? You're at home. You've given birth to a baby that you thought would be dead, and now he's alive, and now she's alive, and now you have to rush to the emergency room. It's a nightmare. So, folks, listen. Talk to us at First Choice. It's free. We love you. There's no judgment. All we want to do is minister to you, let our doctors and nurses and staff give you the facts without judgment, 1,000% love, not a penny. We don't charge you a dime. Give us a call. Our number is 702-294-CARE. That's 702-294-2273. First Choice Pregnancy Services, the sponsoring ministry of this broadcast.
Right on. Another thing that I know about those two organizations that they also do is they also help you at a post-abortion. So let's say you already went through the process. There's actually counselors there that can help you go through the grieving or the trauma or whatever you went through, and try to help you just understand that you're not alone,
right?
And pray on you and give you encouragement and love and support.
That's not just for young ladies also that have lost a child through abortion, but even if you've miscarried, we're there for you as well, that we will pray for you and we will love on you and walk you through this, because a lot of our counselors have already gone through exactly what you've gone through. They've gone through this and now are on the other side of this, and they can be there for you to minister to you and help you as you negotiate this, because it's tough.
Yeah.
When you lose a child.
You really think that you're all alone in this, and you think this is only happened to you and only you, but trust me, if you make a call to either one of those centers, you're going to find a similar story, and they're going to tell you about their situation, their testimony, and even if theirs doesn't match yours, they can love on you and give you the resources to help you get where you need to get to next, because it's nothing but love, and it's nothing but care. They don't go there because they have an agenda against you. They actually are for you. They want to help you.
Yeah,
it's
can you
a
believe
loving
that?
Community.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that, Manny, that there's just organizations out there that really don't want anything from you, that we're just there to love you because that's what we do?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
It's a blessing.
But they exist. And KKVV is one of those places. We got the Love Thy Neighbor Festival, and that's coming up.
I'm going to be there.
You got to be there. It's going to be
to.
May 30th. It's a Saturday, folks, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Going to be free food, so come hungry. Bring the chillins. Bring them. There's going to be all kinds of giveaways and stuff. There's going to be games, food, and all kinds of stuff that's going to be there. And the kids are going to have a blast. You're going to have fun. You're going to be hearing testimonies and praise reports. You're going to find out the beautiful thing about all these different ministries and radio shows that are here on KKBV. You're going to get to meet Alyssa, who's the general manager.
Amen.
That'll blow you away.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. And you're going to see all the wonderful staff here at KKBV. And Heather and Dom, it's just going to be awesome. And you'll even get to see me maybe, and Manny will be there. But Manny's...
Are you going to be on life support? Because
Manny, Manny, you know what Manny's going to he's going to try and get your signature and then tell you who he is. No, he's not. He's going to get your signature on the petition, and then he's going to love you too. And it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I didn't know about this, so I'm going to actually get this to my pastor so that maybe he can get like a little booth or get a little table.
Sure, and you can do that too. By the way, let your pastor know. Say, listen, we're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. We need food, gifts, everything. You want to minister to people? You want to minister to people that may or may not know the Lord? You want to be praising the Lord in public? Be there. Again, this is going to be the Love Thy Neighbor Festival. It's KKVV's 4th annual Love Thy Neighbor Festival, Saturday, May 30th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And come hungry. All the food is free. There's no money. Leave your wallet at home.
Nice.
Leave it at home. Bring the chillins. And it's going to be awesome. If you want more information, you can call the station, KKVV. Our number, 702-731-KKVV, 731-5588. And Alyssa is going to love you for it. She's gonna look. She's smart. Look at it. She's beaming.
Got a big smile.
She's beaming behind the window there in the production studio. Folks, listen. It's been an absolute pleasure coming to the end of our show. Manny, thank you so much for being here, man. It was awesome.
Been a pleasure. I love it.
Absolutely awesome. And if you have questions about anything, give First Choice a call. Our number 702-250. 731-5588. 731-5588 KKVV. We love you, folks. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for the Champions for Life radio broadcast, the outreach ministry of First Choice Pregnancy Services.
Join us every Thursday at 12:30 on KKVV 1060 AM.
If you or someone you know need help with your pregnancy, or if you wish to visit or support our clinic and radio ministry, please call 702-294-CARE. That's 702-294-2273.
Or visit us at fcpschampions.org. That's fcpschampions.org.